Crack, welcome back, Jammers. I'm Sam, and today we're going to be talking about bone health and osteoporosis. Bones have been making the news lately, and not just because they keep us upright. You may have seen an ABC article raising concerns about research behind OsteoStrong's bone loading method. In fact, and I'm going to quote directly, the ABC found serious questions around the validity of the research used to promote OsteoStrong's method of bone loading, with experts calling for the paper to be retracted. Now, we're not here to be rude or slate anyone. Instead, we're going to cut through the noise and talk about what actually works to build and protect strong bones, who's most at risk, and how you can start where you are and build from there. All right, let's get jamming.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
What the are we doing?
Okay, let's get lock in. What's up, Jammers?
Welcome back, Jammers. Good to see you again.
Oh, thank you so much for tuning into our first episode.
Yeah.
We had such good feedback, great engagement from you guys. Thank you for listening and giving us your comments. And
I'm honestly not sure if Jacob listened.
that's really sad.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all good. Like,
It's
we're
fine.
still boys, and he still comes in and trains hard and says, "G'day"
Yeah.
to me. But, like, he didn't say B, and he didn't mention that I shouted him out, even though I did mention to him in clinic that I shouted him out. But
That's so
I can't,
sad.
I, like, worded it in a way, like, you got to listen the whole amount of time. And we did go 5 minutes over, so
Yeah, we're sorry. We know
Yeah.
we did.
we'll try a bit better this time.
Yeah, we're getting a really good start by just rambling about like the feedback.
all right,
but we
all right.
appreciate you guys. Thank you for saying B in the clinic
Yeah.
and confusing the heck out of us both because we forgot. But we
We love
appreciate it.
Now, as Sam from the past just mentioned in our intro,
Oh, funny guy.
we've got, he's whack.
Whack whack quack quack.
What was the saying?
Crack crack. Welcome
crap,
back.
All right.
Crack. Welcome back. Yeah.
So as Sam was saying, we're going to be talking about bone health. You've had a bit of context about what was going on,
Yes.
and I think it's really important that we divert attention into what guideline care really is,
Yeah. I agree.
and also reveal how we approach bone health in the clinic, because there's lots of different people affected.
Yeah.
But I think predominantly today we're going to talk about from an osteoporosis lens.
Yes.
But these guidelines still apply for anyone trying to build bones,
Yeah.
maintain bone health.
Yeah.
And
People who are very aware of it these days too, with healthy aging and that being a popular topic. Like I've had a couple of people in the last 2 months come through the clinic, all fine, just wanting to address bone health.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. So I think this is a very important topic and relevant topic for a lot of people.
Yeah,
too.
for sure. I think it's
Yeah.
in the media too, and this is one of those things, like, we do want to get in early.
Yeah.
And if we can build these foundations, it is literally building foundations for your bones, for long health,
Yes.
for longevity. So
Yes.
yeah, it's a very important topic to all of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of you listening at home, whether a clinician that trains or like a client at our clinic or someone that goes to the gym, you probably find that there's a lot of overlap with some of these guidelines already that you're doing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But then there's probably a little bit more extra
Yes.
that we could all do. So
Absolutely.
maybe we'll start defining what osteoporosis is. So I'm happy to do that.
Go for it.
It's this loss of bone, so bones lose density and strength over time, and then it can lead to increased risk of fracture and frailty. So that's what osteoporosis is.
Yes.
It can be diagnosed through a DEXA, which is the gold standard at the moment.
Yeah, which a lot of the general pop can get anyway. So if you're worried about bone health or you're just intrigued, very easy to access by asking GPs or finding those DEXA bone bus things driving on the freeway.
And especially it's something worth discussing if you have
Yeah.
a few risk factors.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's some pretty clear-cut ones that do,
Yeah.
I guess, put your bones at higher risk of frailty.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk through a few of those?
I can. So risk factors, mostly postmenopausal women are probably the more higher risk category. And a lot of the clientele we see coming through, I would say, at least.
Yep.
Just aging population. So I think it's over 70.
Yeah, 70 has an elevated risk.
Yeah.
Just the gift that keeps on giving, as I'm reminded by some of our more wise clients. I use that
Absolutely.
terminology because it's,
people who are really low body weight as well, or low BMI. So for people who don't know what BMI is, how would you describe the BMI?
It's a body mass index. So it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a way of just, I guess, quickly assessing general population based on height and weight, where you fall in this category. But it does seem that underweight individuals are at higher risk.
Yes, absolutely.
And even in like more the running or athletic population, you've got things like RED-S, so relative energy deficiency in sport.
Yeah.
And it seems that low carbohydrate availability increases risk of bone stress injuries too. So
and that's a whole
it's a whole nother part. But again, like the bone loading would still be forefront, and similar guidelines are to be followed.
Yep. I think you've got just deficiencies of calcium is another risk factor.
Yes.
And
vitamin D.
Vitamin D is
going out in the sun. And then that can be tough when it's the winter months.
Oh yeah, Melbourne.
And then also people in desk jobs too, where you're not out and about as much. So
yes, absolutely.
Probably a few other health conditions too. So people who have had certain cancer treatments puts you at risk of osteoporosis. There's some kidney and liver conditions as well.
Absolutely. And I find, just from like a clinical note, I don't know if you guys do it or you do it, I personally like looking at people's medication lists. Not that I'm dictating what they're taking and things as well, but it's more looking at their medication list. And if they've got a big ton of medications, it's kind of going, it might be worth having a chat to your doctor, especially if they're coming in for bone health or osteoporosis management. Some of the side effects of the medications, I think, put people more in the risk of categories. So like corticosteroids and inhalers, that type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely worth chatting to either us, GP, and just kind of getting an idea of whether it's worth having a medication review. I think is super important because they do put you at risk of, I guess, decreased bone density as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. I guess, did you want to maybe dive into a little bit of, I guess, guidelines around
for sure.
bone health? I guess we're probably going to talk more exercise
than
any other.
So we've got, in terms of what we base guidelines off, it's Healthy Bones Australia for us in Australia.
Yes.
But there's also like British Journal of Sports Medicine put out this really cool like infographic type style of thing where it was Halloween themed. So it's like a skeleton and bats, and
that's kind of fun.
Cool, like skeleton because bones. And, but it's all very similar guidelines and dosages.
Yeah.
So probably the one that most of our clients listening and that we try and encourage to like anyone coming in is to meet physical activity guidelines. So that's resistance training. The minimum is twice a week, but in the Healthy Bones Australia guidelines, we're recommending 2 to 3 times a week of resistance training. Now, the recommendations are actually to be like moderate to heavy resistance. So we are shifting some weight that is challenging. There's RPE guidelines and then also 1 rep max guidelines. So that's where then you consult with exercise physiologist or physiotherapist or someone that is equipped with that exercise training to help develop the right intensity for you. Because it should be challenging. That's what we need for the bone stimulus. And then we also want to target the muscles that are around the hip and then the spine as well. So
why just the spine and the hip?
So predominantly because that's going to work your lower body and your upper body, and also they're high risk fracture sites, and on the DEXA that's what's being assessed. So you're going to get a spine score typically, and then your femur, neck of femur, which is your hip. Speaking of neck of femur, we had a client that had a DEXA done, and this just shows the importance of probably communicating results clearly with people. They thought the neck of femur was that they had osteoporosis in their neck. They were really frightened. And I guess my reaction was, well, I think they'll be stoked to hear that it's not in their actual neck. Because it is pretty scary, like it's near your head. But I think just message to everyone out there,
my God.
Interpreting results yourself's challenging enough, and there's always scary stuff. But then just like beyond that, like it's really hard to decode the messages, and getting someone that you trust and that has the time to talk through results with you is really important.
Absolutely. And I think it's good you mentioned like neck of femur. So for neck of femur, that's like top of the hip mostly. But for people who don't know what that is mostly, but that's also another risk factor, is previous history of either fracture or family history of osteoporosis as well. So I think that just ties it back in, just so people know another risk factor involved.
Yeah. So resistance training's great.
Yes.
I mean, we know that, we prescribe it often.
Yes.
Then I think there's probably two other key parts of those guidelines that are underrated. I mean, the reason resistance training works is it's pulling like tendons that attach to bones, and that's what causes that mechanical stress, which promotes bone health.
Yes. I think the term is osteogenesis. But
damn.
Big word. Let's explain that.
That's a physio word.
Oh, that's what I get from... No. I'm joking.
All right, we don't need to divide.
We're besties again.
Sure.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's take on past that.
If you're watching the video, we just
guys, we've just had a technical difficulty. Jess and I have sorted out our differences, and now we're back on track. So let's move forward together.
Yes. So osteogenesis.
So something else that helps with osteogenesis,
absolutely,
is impacts.
Yes.
So another key part of the guidelines. So impacts. Skippy the kangaroo.
Yeah.
We're Australian, we love Skippy.
We do love
So we should love to jump and hop and run and whatever else. So impacts is, we want to aim like 3 times a week and 50 impacts.
Yeah.
Like if it's hopping, then it'd be 50 per side, or if we're just jumping up and down like a skipping motion, then 50 total approximately. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
You can imagine something like if you are running or like jogging on the spot, you'd accumulate that pretty quick. But I also think it's something that when, we have people in the clinic and we're like, we're going to do some impacts, it's pretty daunting.
Freaky. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and maybe we'll discuss the next part of the guidelines, and then we could talk about barriers, because I think that
will be important as well. Absolutely.
So the final part, and I think this is the most underrated part of the guidelines, is the balance training.
Yes.
So we want to accumulate 3 hours a week of balance training.
Yeah.
But this is the fun part. It could be things like dancing or Zumba or...
Doesn't have to be boring, stand on one leg.
I mean, but it can be.
But it could be, absolutely.
Dual tasking, so things like where you're carrying an object. So in here, I prescribe it as don't spill the wine, or I'll tailor it to the client, so don't spill the gin and tonic. Now, that also talks to the risk factor of excessive alcohol consumption, so I don't condone that.
Yeah.
But everything in moderation, and yin and yang, baby, is my saying for the day.
Yes, that's interesting.
You don't like it?
Where did that come from?
I just said it today.
Oh.
A client laughed.
Oh, so
okay,
you're sticking with
worries.
it. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's just not landing with me.
Well,
sorry.
Chuck a yin and yang baby in the clinic as our secret word
yin and yang.
For the episode, since Jess loved that one so much. So
I did love that,
hit us up, yin and yang baby, if you listened and you enjoyed.
Love it.
Now
Perfect. Back to balance training.
Back to balance training. So, and I prescribe that as like maybe they're doing a tandem walk, or if they're not at that stage yet, they're just walking, but they're holding some sort of, whether it's a tennis racket or something, and there's a ball on it.
Yeah.
Or it might be one of those slider that you can do some like hamstring or slider lunges with a balloon.
Yeah.
So it challenges their balance. They're thinking of something else. You could do things like say the alphabet out loud whilst doing a tandem walk or something like that. So it challenges multiple aspects.
Yeah, I love it. Very creative.
Yeah.
I think the creative ones work really well.
It's like the old egg and spoon, but I don't really want to be cleaning up a raw egg off the floor in the clinic. So
no, not on the carpet.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So before we move then to some barriers, just to recap then, guidelines from exercise perspective, you're looking at three days a week, greater than 3 days a week of resistance training. 2
to 3 days a week resistance training.
2 to 3.
We're then going, and that's got to be a heavy load.
Yep. And
ideally.
Exercises like squats, deadlifts.
Yep.
Perfect.
It can be lat pull down, things that challenge above the hip and below the hip and spine. Then we're looking at balance training, so we're trying to get 3 hours or more, and we're progressively making it more challenging over time.
Yep.
And then we've got the impacts, so 3 times a week, aiming for approximately 50 impacts.
Yeah. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
I do find it interesting. People coming in for impacts in particular, I find there's a little bit of a difference between upper limb, lower limb, and then when to implement both. do you find it just as challenging to give more upper limb impact exercises and then trying to get people to do that because of either lack of muscle strength, or what type of exercises are you giving?
Yeah.
More so.
Yeah, I think so. Both have their own challenges, and I think like
absolutely.
hesitancy.
Yeah.
I think like it's probably easier to load impacts through the lower limb.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But then it allows you to be creative. Like things like boxing is a great alternative of impacts for like if we're thinking about wrist and that sort of thing. So I love the boxing with clients, and they get to punch me, and I think they enjoy it a little bit too much.
Absolutely.
But that's all right. I'm the man of the people, EP of the people, so I'll allow
I love that.
my clients to box me.
Perfect.
I haven't been hit in the head yet, so that's a good thing, because we don't need concussions, and that could be another topic. But,
yeah, absolutely. I have been hit, actually, I think, from
by
a boxing.
Yeah,
I was holding...
Are you going to name and shame?
No, I won't.
We don't do that.
That's all right. He apologised too many times, and I was like, it's okay. But it was full uppercut to the chin, and I was like, dude, oof, good impact.
Knockout or no?
No.
Oh, well, surely you let him know, like,
hit hard.
Jaw of steel.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool.
Other things are like, it could be like push-ups that are plyometric, and it could even just be to the wall if that's the level they're at, and like really
push
firm.
Off, yeah, absolutely.
So then it's like the impacts for the lower limb. Like, it doesn't have to be you start with jumping. It can be heel drops, so going up on your tippy toes, landing firm.
Yeah.
Or it can even be things like stomping.
Yeah.
So they count as impacts.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, if we're talking barriers to impacts, which I think this is morphed into.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just making them accessible, and like just being like, we'll meet you where you're at.
Yep.
The other thing with impacts though is over time we want to build it to 2 to 4 times body weight.
Yeah.
So then it also means we do have to somewhat implement some sort of leaving the ground type thing.
Yeah.
If we're trying to meet guidelines. And again, we're all at different levels, and maybe we all don't reach that absolute optimal.
Yeah.
But just engaging in those impacts semi-regularly is going to be really beneficial. So.
Absolutely. And just before we move to them barriers specifically, I think it's important to touch on, I guess, the progression of, I guess, bone health through the ages.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I do think these guidelines still apply to people who are younger than those risk factor ages as well.
Oh,
so
100%.
Children, like starting early, I think your growth potential, your bony potential is from, I've heard, anything between 8 and 10 years old, which is like, get your kids doing some like jumping, obstacle courses, involved in sport, starting to promote it that way, and then leads up into your 20s, and then you start to have that bone density decline from there. So take advantage of the early years, and then once you hit kind of your peak, you're looking at maintaining
for sure.
and still trying to improve as much as you can on bone density, but it's all about just continually doing exercise and working on your impacts. But I think it does still apply to everyone. I don't think we're just ruling out people under the age of 70 or anyone outside of those risk factors. I think it's just as important for anyone from 8 up. So,
and there's maybe it's like the different stages too. There's different benefits as well, that doing something like impacts, or it can be called plyometrics, like that's a very athletic movement. Like the power is very desirable for different sports, different activities, different movements we're doing. So
absolutely,
there's so much transfer across, and having good balance too. It's universal things. And again, physical activity guidelines recommend the twice a week minimum of resistance training. I think it's something like 20% of Australians meet that. So that's not fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, though, if you're a jammer, you're probably meeting that.
Yeah, if you're a jammer, you're 100% meeting it.
And if you're not, you can still be a jammer, but like, let's up it a little bit. Let's meet that minimum dose.
For sure, yeah. And give us a yell if you need a hand. Like, I think we're so passionate about trying to get people hitting the guidelines, and then the benefits of that, which bone health leads into, like, all your exercises kind of fall into place, and it's not that different, to be fair.
Those guidelines there, they cover your whole life and well-being too, so it keeps your muscles strong if we're training at that intensity and that sort of thing too. So that's what we want. Barriers. So I'd like to ask you about a barrier specifically. So you said like children starting young. But doesn't strength training stunt your growth?
No.
Heard it here first, guys.
No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't. Like, yeah,
No.
scientifically,
It
we
does
don't
not.
even need to go into that. That's very old school way of
Yeah.
thinking. So it is about starting young and getting exposure. But again, it's being set up with the right program. And
Absolutely. And it doesn't need to look like structured exercise, I think, when you're that young anyway. It's like you see any children coming into the clinic for whatever reason. It's like you're obstacle coursing, you're jumping, you're doing a plyometric, like you're jumping up to a box, you're landing, you're running, you're doing all these things anyway, you're picking things up, and I don't know. I do think you can get it in other ways that are not structured exercise to keep people compliant and just enjoying it. Like, that's the whole point. It's like you want to be doing things you enjoy. But yeah, strength training in children, okay.
because I think that's a thing too then, like another barrier. So I don't enjoy that type of training. So what happens then, Jess? Let's say like someone does have osteoporosis. They're like, just strength training's not for me. Like, where do you go from there?
Usually a why. Firstly, like, is it access? Because I think that's another barrier as well, is access to good equipment. It's like, if you're looking at the heavy loading or resistance training, most people aren't going to get that with dumbbells at home or bands at home. It's not meeting that standard. But if you're talking to someone about it and you're really educating them on the benefits of this and why, I think they're more inclined to then go, oh, you know, if it's important to me, I'm willing to invest in my health, or I'm willing to go to one gym class, or just do some running. Like, shout out to my mum.
Yeah.
I called her today, and
shout out Mama Jess.
Mama McGrath.
Shout out Mama McGrath.
Shout out Mama McGrath. She told me today, we were talking about bone health, and she was like, no one's really talked to me about it, but I remember you saying one thing about impact. So I've been running for 2 minutes, like, on the spot every day for the last 6 months, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, is she hitting the guidelines? Probably not. That's okay, Mum. We're working on it. But I think it's so cool that she's like taken that on board, and it's like, at least she's trying to make the best of what she is. She's not got the access to the gym, but she can run on the spot at home. She's doing something to promote it. So I think that's usually how I attack it. What do you have access to? What's easy? And then what do you enjoy?
It talks so nicely to this. So guidelines are one thing, and like, that's cool. I think, my problem is only when something's presented as this is really effective for bone health, and it actually doesn't follow those guidelines. Like, the guidelines are based on rigorous evidence and testing and science, and that's why that's the dosage. If it were a medication, like, this is the minimum amount we have to do. But I'd say then another barrier would be, I can't meet all of that, so what's the point? What would you say to that?
I think it would just be do what you can. Like, it's not I don't force the issue. Like, I'd much rather have someone trust me and trust my advice that I'm giving. And like, it's important for you, and I wouldn't be telling you if it's not important. But if you're not hitting it, this is the minimum you can do. Like, if this is what you told me the setup is, just do this. Maybe a little more through the week. Try, if you can, go to the gym. Like, most people go on holidays. I'm like, you have the access to this. You actually don't have that, like, access to a gym at home, or like, while you're here, take advantage of the hotel gym. Tell me if you enjoy it, and then we can look at trying to set you up or something.
It's all that plant the seed,
it is,
behaviour change. But like, how much more is just doing a little bit compared to zero? Like, how much of a health difference? It's like immense.
Insane.
So it's just, if anyone can do, if it is once a week, cool. And then you'll find, once a week feels all right. And you do get clients, like, I've had a couple of clients recently, they'll do once a week in here because of, like, time poor. Because they're out doing their life stuff. But then they're like, I'm really enjoying this. Could you develop a program for me? It's like, how long would you like it to go for? I'm happy with 30 minutes. I'm like thinking, I'll do a 5 minute, like, because stoked, anything more. So 30 minutes, we can really build that up.
Absolutely.
And we do things they feel comfortable. And if we use the clinic time or the group session time to build confidence in movement. And again, it goes back to, we don't want people in movement jail. We don't want to promote fragility.
No. And I think that's a big one with bone health. It's the fragility mindset of, what if I break? What if I do impacts?
That's
like,
my
bones
barrier.
aren't strong enough.
So what would you say to the commentary that, well, you're telling me, Jess, to do heavy resistance training and to jump. But like, my bones are literally frail. Like, that's what my scan says. Like, how does that makes sense. That seems counterintuitive. What?
Yeah. I literally will break it down into like the osteogenesis concept and be like, hey, this is what resistance training does in the simplest way possible. You load the muscle heavy, bones are pulling on, the tendons are pulling on the bones, and that's starting this whole bone modeling process. Oh, okay. Landing will do the same thing. If we look at that, I use videos. I'll literally like describe it in such a simple way that it's like, I get my mum to do this. Like I try to get my mum to do this. Like I really like hit hard on it. And I think it just, again, I think it comes back to the honesty. I think I said it last week. It's like, I will really just like, if they have a misconception about something, it's questioning why they think that. Has something been planted previously that you think that you're this frail, but you're happy to walk upstairs? You fell down, you told me you fell down the gutter. Did you break? No. And then rationalizing it again with them going, hey, you should be okay.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. I think, and again, like there's the Lift More trial got a lot of hype.
Yes.
It's also like, do we need to lift that heavy? Like maybe not, like moderate dose. And I believe
Just
the
briefly,
guidelines is...
What is the Lift More trial for people?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So it was this protocol that was really, really cool. So there was different like groups of people. So there's like post-menopausal women, then there's also like men over 50, I believe, that are diagnosed with osteoporosis, and they put them through pretty heavy strength training. So I think it's typically a 5x5 type setup. They'll do like heavy deadlifts and squats, and they'll do like pull-ups where then they land for the impacts.
Yeah.
So it's predominantly just resistance training exercise. There's the On a Row program now, which is developed about that. So it follows that exact methodology.
Yeah.
Was that superior to like heaps of other things? Like maybe not, but what it really showed was it's safe.
Yeah.
We can load really heavy.
Yeah.
Like they're training like 80 plus RPM.
Rep max?
RPM. No, they're not doing RPM. RM, rep max. So that's a heavy weight. It's late, gosh.
It is late.
Right. We keep going.
We're really going for
keep
you.
hustling. Yeah. Don't cut that out either. We all make mistakes.
Yeah. We're not scripted.
We can't be perfect. But just like we can't be perfectly meeting the guidelines,
yes,
we don't have to. We just got to do our best, I think.
Yeah.
And make sure that it's accessible. But yeah, that research showed that it's safe. Like there was nothing inherently injurious to people with diagnosed osteoporosis and lifting that heavy. So that's really reassuring to people, I find, when you can share that result. And also, we don't have to load them up that heavy to start. Like, we've got to get buy-in. I don't see the benefit in going, first session, let's rep max test.
Yeah.
Like, you want every lift straight away. It's like, people are going to be sore. They're going to be worried they've injured themselves. Like, we don't need to facilitate this movement type gel. And I don't think any degree of, like, reassurance can really help that in that first session if they do pull up really sore and don't trust the process. So getting buy-in and, again, just moving your body. And
preparing them for their tasks like we talked last week. Last fortnight.
For someone's high intensity, could literally be sit to stands to start with. So we also don't need external load. It just means we need to be ticking that intensity, which is relative for everyone.
Yes, very individualised. Yeah, perfect. I think we are probably pushing it for time again this week, Sam.
Nice. Yeah.
We're very passionate people.
Can I always push my luck? Quickly, overrated, one last activity.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated for bone health.
Yes.
I'll shoot you one, you hit me back with one. So I'd say walking.
Probably overrated.
Why?
Lots of people do it. And I think, again, you're not hitting the load impacts as much as, I guess, the resistance training and specific impact will.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Mobility, balance training.
That is so underrated.
Yeah.
Because it's like, my whole take is if we don't fall, we don't fracture.
Yep.
We can't prevent all falls, but if we don't fall, then osteoporosis probably isn't going to be something affecting us.
Yep. Perfect. Cool. Locked in.
Is that it?
Done?
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a quick one. I was waiting for the Pilates one, but we'll leave that for another epi.
No, we'll leave it for another epi.
We're
pushing it. We're pushing it.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Remember,
word.
The key word was yin and yang, baby. If you want to hit us up. Why? Life's about balance, Jess.
Yin and yang baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like, do you
No,
think a
I'll
little
back
baby?
you. Is that what you're saying?
No, like, let's go, baby. Like, let's get hyped. Yin and yang, baby. Not like a little baby with a yin and yang.
Well, that's what they're going to put in the comments, is a yin and yang and a baby.
All right, well, that's fine.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll jam you on the next one. We won't do that. Peace out.
Peace out.